Hi, hello everyone. So I'm a full stack developer at Mindmajix. I have around 2+ years of experience in development, and I worked on different companies like Wipro and multiple developed multiple websites and developed kind of microservice architectures for different Dubai-based companies. Currently, I'm fully professional at Java full stack developer. Will be regarding that what is the basics of programming, Java concepts, and HTML, JavaScript, and CSS to work with the web development also. So basically, this is the basic requirement of the Java full stack. So we'll be focusing on how to develop a backend project, how to develop a front-end projects, and onto that, how to optimize a code, how to write a backend projects, and how to conceptualize the concepts. And if you have a problem or statement, you have to make a concept for that using some design patterns and everything. All okay. So the terminologies what I'm using right now will be taught also, just like design patterns. Like design patterns will be a key concepts for this Java full stack architect for full stack micro sorry Java full stack training. So the outline for this course will be starting with the how to start up simple Java programs, compile it, execute it, and this basic functionality of Java is object oriented features. Yes, so we'll be starting off after some days of training. We'll be starting off with the object oriented features of the Java, and introduction to array will be a good start for the demo. And for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, we'll be starting with a web page and styles, adding styles to the web pages. How can we add? What are the different ways we can add styles to the web page? That is CSS, and adding the actuation, adding the main engine to the web page. That is JavaScript. Thus, we'll be completing the course. Moving on to our Java course curriculum, we'll be having too much of time to complete Java as well as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, including the projects also. Okay, so what is the curriculum is like. First of all, we'll start with the Java technology, understanding the Java technology. What are the basic how Java runs actually? Okay, without starting the code. Now the basic things we'll start with the string APIs and data types, primitive data types. How can we start variables, initialize variables? These things will start, and after then we'll start with arrays. Arrays will be the most time we'll be spending on, because after this array this concept will get implemented in the TSA algorithms in the future, if the students want to learn implementing all the arrays using methods, and what are the methods, what can we do with the methods, how to implement that methods, everything. And then the first program of the Java will get written by the students. Okay, so after then we'll start with the decision making in the Java programs, like operators and if-else statements. These are the basic concepts, and describing and using all the classes. Yeah, basically from the third last point, we'll start the object oriented design for the Java. That is the main concept we'll be starting with for the development of any backend. After that, interfaces and abstract classes are also a key concept for encapsulation. So for encapsulation, we have to start interface and abstract classes. So encapsulation is also a very beautiful concept of Java. We'll be starting off with that. For object oriented, I'm talking about, because the basic programs already written. Now continuing with the reusing and implementation of through interface. Yes, we'll start implementing the DAO architecture, MVC architecture with this the first point in the curriculum of the second page. And then we'll be handling exception. Yes, we'll get some exceptions, and we'll have to handle those exceptions for not to save the program, not to fall hard. After then, we'll be programming abstractly. basically that is the design pattern we follow. Is like we try to do some shadow kind of stuff for backend. Okay, so each class will have their interfaces and how they will be implemented, lambda expressions in the second third last point. So these are all the concepts we'll pursue over here. So these are all the advanced part of the Java. We'll do like this for this advanced Java architecture whenever we start the implementing the inheritance reusing implementation. Okay, so collections also, this is a new concept after Java 8. We started Java collections. This is the most important concept for making a backend. So multi-threading and synchronization, that will be also, that is also very necessary to reduce the process complexity and do some kind of multi stuff parallelly. The students will be able to learn this easily with this process basically. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So basically, this will be a simple package of web development. Will not push too much hard for this web development because multiple kind of frameworks are already available. We have to start the training through that also in the future if necessary, right? So introduction to HTML, basic creating a basic web pages, writing names and all, and adding fonts and all these things will start, and adding CSS then with yes, CSS will be then after CSS we'll start implementing internal, external, inline CSS. Okay, so this type of CSS will discuss, and how to implement that will start of only the single session will be taken for a single or two sessions will be taken for a CSS web page, and now the main concept of the web page, that is an engine, right? So we'll first of all how JavaScript works. We'll start describing how browser works basically. So how browser is rendering all the HTML elements to that DOM. So the fourth last point, the DOM manipulation, right? So for the manipulating of the DOM through JavaScript, we have to understand what is DOM, right? So we'll start off how JavaScript works. That is basically how DOM works, and then we'll start with the main engine: JavaScript functions, JavaScript variables, ES6 functions, features, and callbacks, and all these things. All the closures, all the concepts of the JavaScript will be discussed, including around 7 to 8 classes. Only JavaScript is not necessary, or only backend is not necessary. Add-on topics is including is like how to optimize a code. Basically, I'll be instructing the students on not only to code, I'll instructing the students how to code basically, and how to optimize your code, how to reduce the length of the code, and how to reduce the time complexity, space complexity. I'll be teaching a bit, so that they'll understand, yes, why we are doing this concept, why not the other concept, what they have discussed, or what are the flaws in the other concepts. Just like, for example, why can't we use simple search, inline lining search, or I can say line search, right? And why we use binary search. Fine, so these all things I'll explain, like how, why means the questions what arises in a good developer will be all will be answered in this topic. Why optimize the code and how to optimize the code. Now the second point is the code formatting. So basically we developers want to see a code which is self-explanatory, right? So we try to make the code self-explanatory. So basically assign a variable of student. So basically this is not a self-explaining code, right? So instead of student s, we can write student new student. That is the simple example you can imagine that. So basically new students make much more sense than s. So that is self-explanatory. We don't need to write a comments and increase the length of the code's unnecessary documentations. So we try to reduce the kind of complexity in the code formatting. How to write the code, where to write the code, okay, where JavaScript, sorry, where internal is necessary, where external files are necessary. And the last thing, how to debug a code through a code editor, through a compiler, and in JavaScript basically is the toughest one. We have to debug a code in Chrome console or any browser console basically. So this will be add-on topics which will much more efficient for students other than coding. Coding anyone can learn, but these things we have to research, and I will compile all these things and provide all to the students. Additional these are the course resources. I'll be providing my own resource provided by me only, created by me. I'll provide the PDF, PPT or something. So all the documentation what I taught and everything, every all, and Java references. These are the free tutorials, and all the syntaxes things are already compiled in this PPT. So these all things I also refer, and I hope student will find it useful. Now, the talking about the projects, for the start, we'll be creating one attendance management program. So basically, what it does is like we'll take the number of students, and we'll add students, we'll get all the students, and we'll maintain a register. We add an entry to the register, and we'll check how many students are attending right now, and these all things will be covered in the attendance management program with Java console application, right? Now in calculator, the toughest part is the logic building. Okay, so how to manipulate them along with creating the logic is the JavaScript, the second project, calculator. So basically I have one project, calculator project, already built for you. I'll just present that. So this is the basic scientific calculator, you can say. Yes, the basic one. So simply just add it, multiply it, divide it, and it will give you the answer, the full answer, you can see. Okay, so after that also you add this, so it will work. So basically student will be able to create this complete application using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, simple. And we have this attendance management program also. So you can see, right, attendance. So entry will be there, register will be there, number of how students are being done over here, and we'll create a main engine so that we can get student, get all student, get attendance, and add a student to the list. And eventually after this course, in the next course we'll be starting with how to persist these things so that it will not get lost when the program is off. So after projects, lab setup, these are the basic things which all the laptops in the current market have. So these are the things. Memory 16 GB, 8 GB will also work, but I prefer 16 GB. 4 cores will required, yes, and 500 GB of hard disk space is not required, but that will be okay if you have that. Windows 7 and above, yes, to be exact, Windows 7 and above will help you much more to develop the things, because most of the tools which we are going to use are compatible on above Windows 7. So after completion of the course, we'll be taking the mock interviews of the participants who will evaluate themselves before applying a job, to understand the knowledge gap, and yes, what they learned and what they didn't learn. We'll evaluate that, and we'll start calculating yes what we can do for them. Certifications are also mentioned, like after learning the Java, you can apply for the professional education, means Oracle Java based Sun certified Oracle Java certified professional. So that is a cheap one, and yet not cheap, means the cheap is the price only, but the certification has a high value in the globe already, worldwide, right? So JavaScript as well as CIWS certified JavaScript is also very good certification. And yes, HTML, CSS, if you want, you can take it from Canit. Okay, so that is also a very good certifications you can take after this. Thank you for attending the demo. So please share your feedback, queries at this email provided here, and I hope you'll like the demo. Thank you.